The possibility of joint resupply missions to the second Thomas Shoal appear to be under discussion, according to new reports. This would involve the Philippines conducting resupply missions to its troops stationed there with allies like the US, Australia, and Japan. These discussions have emerged in response to China's recent disruptions of Philippine resupply efforts to the shoal, which China claims, despite international recognition of it being part of the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. The ongoing talks appeared to be confirmed by a Philippine Navy spokesperson, who said, "All options are being discussed on the planning table. Once finalized, this will be submitted for approval." The US chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff was also in Manila this week for discussions with the Philippine military chief, General Brawner. But while positive if confirmed, and joint drills have taken place in the past, it's unclear if the US would want to risk angering Beijing, particularly given recent attempts to de-escalate current tensions. The news comes against a complex backdrop of recent events in the West Philippine Sea, including a dramatic incident in which armed Chinese sailors rammed Philippine boats, causing one serious injury. Following this, the Philippines has sought to strengthen military ties with neighbors, also fearful of Chinese claims on their territory. This includes a groundbreaking military pact with Japan that would allow for enhanced cooperation and joint exercises, and ongoing talks with France for another defense pact, allowing reciprocal access on each other's territory. But steps have also been taken in an apparent attempt to calm the situation, raising the question of whether joint patrols, sure to anger Beijing, are likely in the near term, particularly with the US election around the corner. One such step includes a newly announced hotline between China and the Philippines that will allow direct communication in the hopes of limiting future confrontations. China has so far stopped short of direct military engagement, wary of bringing Philippine ally the United States into the dispute. But with the main Chinese tactics so far having been using force to prevent access to the shoal it insists it owns, it's unclear how helpful these measures will be. China has continued to claim its conduct has been measured and proportionate, blaming the Philippines for recent escalations. Additionally, the recent announcement that the US's mid-range Typhoon missile system will be removed from the Philippines later this year could be seen as a de-escalatory move. Deployed during recent joint exercises, the missile system, capable of firing tomahawks into Chinese territory, caused anger in Beijing, but it remains unclear if its removal is part of a planned redeployment following these exercises. However, it's also worth noting that joint patrols involving the Philippines and its allies are not new. In 2023, the US and Philippines conducted joint air and sea patrols in the South China Sea, with President Biden warning any attack on Filipino aircraft, vessels, or armed forces would invoke its mutual defense treaty. And earlier this year, Philippine forces conducted joint patrols with warships from Australia, the US, and Japan. This was followed by an announcement in April that the US and Japan would conduct joint naval patrols with the Philippines later this year, a relationship now strengthened by the new defense pact. All this may suggest that future patrols between the Philippines and its allies are likely to go ahead, but may fall short of joint resupply missions. However, this could all change following US elections this year, something that may influence Beijing's thinking in the coming months.